Yeah, so second half. Yeah. So I'm coming up with this progression when we exert energy, and like I said, I really don't know what to call it, but it's coming out to three phases. Um, so the first being very physical, just setting your frame, and like I said, it's like building a house, right? Foundation and the frame, right, has to be solid and has to be set in place, and you want it just right, right? Right when it's solid and you know it's there, then you can start building around it. And if you don't recognize it, that it's ready to go and that's all you need, right? Then you throw in too many nails, you throw in too many other studs, you just make it's overcomplicated, right? And it's too much. And it might become top heavy. You might put too much weight in the wrong place, which will, over time, actually, cause the structure to fall apart, right? So just setting it, understanding where that is. And then the second part is to expand. So if it's a frame, right, you get it solid, and then you might have structural supports like maybe those hurricane brackets to kind of hold it in place and to allow expansion, right? Wood and building materials have to expand and contract, right? And you might have some support in the frames to help direct that expansion, right? But it has to have movement. I think Hilo Hospital, my mom was telling me that there's certain walls, and these are one of the earthquake prevention, where buildings are designed certain places where they know that it's going to have a lot of stress, where actually it's not connected. So I remember my mom telling me Hilo Hospital, they're watching this wall during the earthquake, and you can see the movement. Yeah, it looks spooky, but what it's doing is it's relieving stress. If it didn't have that, it would just snap and everything would break. Okay? And so set the frame and then allow for that expansion, right? Internally expand and have those supports, right? That's the muscles, the ligaments, tendons stretching. And then the third part is something from outside expands it, pulls. So something on outside is helping, and internally you just relax. So it starts off external in strong, right? Posture, structure, framework, and then relax internally, expanding the muscles, allowing the joints to relax and expand, and then externally being pulled, and then you relax even more, and then right, everything is just being pulled along, and the feet have to be doing the same thing that the upper body and the palms and the fingers are doing. You don't want 60% and 40%. You don't want 51% and 49%. It's an even. And then you have to add the top of the head. So the top of the head is being suspended. And the same thing with on the bottom, the tailbone. So that means the tailbone has to sink, right, like a plumb line. But then the tailbone has to be pulled. So not only pulling from the top, but imagine the top and bottom being pulled so the body expands in all directions, right, from there. And just have to practice that feeling, right? So strong, setting, structural, and then relax, but expand, and letting the joints go, letting everything sit in place, but expanding. So in the beginning, might be really, even that expansion is more external, really stretching, right? That full stretch, that full tension, and then it's being pulled. So everything has to let go so you can be pulled. And like I was calling out much of that last set, right? Imagine being pulled and pulled and pulled, and imagine the spine turning and pulling. Okay, so Sam. Okay. So then on top of that is how our joints fold, right? So whatever joint it is folding. And what I'm saying is that, can you think of any joint in your body that folds like a door, right? Just completely square, right? Like it has just a hinge and it can only fold like that, right? I can't think of any joint. All of our joints are connected by muscle tissue, right? And the more relaxed the joint is, then the more rotation the joint has. So even if the basic movement is, the wrist is kind of like a hinge, but it can turn. So it's not strictly like a hinge, right? So it doesn't just go up and down. It can rotate. So it can spiral. So all of our joints allow a certain amount of spiraling and twisting, right, in our body. Come. Stay up here. Okay. So what I want you to do first is just stand and just relax and fold. Right? Just stand and fold from here. Okay. If you try and force your body upright, right, you can feel the tension in your legs, right? Your muscles work a little differently. But if you allow this fold, that releases that tension, right? So in the beginning, just allow your body, and that's a natural angle, right? You're actually in line. You're not hunched. You're not pulling back like this. You just fold and just let your body naturally fold. So if I'm looking straight as I fold, my eyesight starts going down, right? That's relaxed. If I'm looking up like this, right, this is not natural, right? I'm pulling my head up. So if I want to look up, then I just kind of roll my eyes up, right? But allow the joints, allow the body to fold. And then rock the body back and forth until you feel where it's right in the middle, right? When you rock the body back and forth, you don't change any of these angles here. Right? So as you go down, you learn to shift the body back and forth, adjust, so you stay right in the center, so it's solid. Okay? Now, you let the butt stick out, but you don't overtly push it out. Right? You just relax and just let this fold. So as you're going down, right, we only fold forward. Right? You're not folding left, not folding right, because we're in the center and we have two joints. But if we shift to one side, okay? So if I want to put all my weight on my left leg, it can be your left leg or your right leg, doesn't matter. Right? As I come down, if I force my body straight, right, I don't let my body turn. So I come down and I force my body straight, and even centering that, I can feel this muscle starting to flex. Right? Even if I sink into my hip joint, right, I can feel that foot pressing. And when I release that, I'm forcing my body to be square. Right? And I can feel some instability on the bottom of my foot. I can feel that I have to use my muscles to really hold myself into place. Right? So from the side, same thing. I shift to one side. I don't allow my body to turn. Right? I'm holding it in place. I can feel this muscle flexing. I can feel I have to really use a lot of muscle for there. Okay? So when you shift to one side, notice how this muscle does flex and it's nice and strong. But if I shift to one side and I relax into this hip, relax into this joint, keep everything as relaxed as possible, and allow my body to turn, right? It will fold. This leg will release and keep everything relaxed. Allow my body to turn. I'm much more stable and much more relaxed. Okay? So the message I'm giving is that the body wants to turn into the joints, right? The body wants to fold into the joints. But how we teach people movement is we don't talk about that. We don't say the body wants to turn, let it turn. We say turn. Right? So kind of external movement. Oh, what is the form, right? Oh, you have to turn. Oh, you have to turn the leg. Okay, I turn the leg. But you're not listening to the joint. So we're holding that form, right? We're locking that form in. Okay? It's like we build the structure. What do you want the structure to look like? You're looking at every time you put something in place, you're trying to force that finished form, but you're not looking at how the joints are all connected. You have to look at how the joints are connected, and then the form will come out. So one of my examples is we do what's called a half horse, where the foot turns, I have to shift, I have to sit, and this leg is released and it comes up here. So we call this a half horse from here. Right? So we tell people to turn and the body has to face 45. we're focused on the direction of the body, the direction of here, and then looking forward. And then when we get it, we're trying to find and we're trying to hold this in place. Okay? If I go the other way, if I say, well, sink into here and let the body turn, my body starts turning this way, sink all my weight down, don't fight, just relax, and then this leg is free. And there's that half horse. And then from here, I have to learn how to straighten out a little bit, sink my hip and the other parts to get my body into the structure I want. But my body naturally turns. So why do I turn this foot? Because I want to face that way, right? So if I face 45 here, where my foot, now this foot is already turned, and I shift into this leg and I let my body turn, right? Now that's my half horse. So if I teach it and approach it differently, right, into let your body turn and fold. And the body can turn both ways, but you might have to go deeper or higher, whatever it is. There's different adjustments. So what I want you to listen to is, right, if you go down two sides, right, just relax into the joints. The body cannot turn even though you relax because two legs, right? But if you go to one side and relax, just really go deep into here. This is what I was talking about before. You have to sink deep into here. But now if you let it fold, let the body turn, you will go deep into here and that one leg will be free. Okay? It'll be a little bit more stable. And then you try it without turning, right? Go down on one leg and force yourself not to turn. And notice how much this muscle has to flex and expand. Okay? When you try that, going back and forth and feel the difference, because you have to convince yourself that, oh yeah, if I don't, I'm creating tension, right? If I don't allow the body to turn, and I force myself to be straight, I'm creating tension, unneeded tension, right? So instead of just being able to relax and be balanced and sink into the earth, even if I imagine my feet being sucked into the earth, I have too much tension here. When I was learning Kung Fu, oh, that was a good thing. Why? Because you said, oh, the legs are strong, right? I can feel the muscles developing. Oh, strong. And everybody's pounding. Oh, look how tight and solid my muscle is, right? Like it's going to get strong. Somebody kicks me. Oh, it's just going to be like kicking a tree trunk. Now I realize that's wasted energy because I'm holding it. But it's part of development, right? It's like Vava Malu. It's inexperience. It's part of that overexerting. But if I sink into here, if I allow it to turn, it still requires muscle to do this, but I'm starting to isolate which muscle is working instead of just everything, right? My joints are going to thank me, everything's going to thank me, my stability is going to thank me. I'm just more relaxed because I allowed my body to turn. So as you sink, relax into here and listen how the body folds into the joint. Okay? And the hip joint is the most obvious. That has to apply to here, that if I turn, it has to fold. It's just that the hand is not stuck to the ground, right? So the hand tends to move. But if the hand were, right? If my hand were stuck to something, right? If my hand was locked to her, immovable, then when I turn, when I shift to one side, my body should turn and fold into this joint, even though my hand is straight. Then it's relaxed. Right? So the amount of energy you have from standing, let all that tension go, right? Try to get to that 0 point, or as close to 0. And as you move, you have to maintain that 0, right? Relative 0, right? You don't want to add any more stress to that. You just have to relax and go with it, right?
So if I straighten out, I have to learn how to manipulate my hips and swivel my hips so that I don't push my knee forward. And that's the danger. If I straighten out incorrectly and I don't turn, then there's pressure on my knee. I can feel it, right? And I'm going left and right. You can see my balance going out. So I have to allow the fold. And relax, let everything sink down and fold into here, right? And then I can straighten out. But I have to keep that knee back. So the whole body has to shift to maintain the center of balance from there. And then it's going to work really deep into the muscle. Okay? So things are not overnight. And you have to just really take some time on the side to just study and feel these things happen. Okay? All right. Trying to think which. Oh, okay. So in the set, if we look at right, the opening comes out, and we look at that from here. Okay, so I'll face my back to you so we can all go same direction. Right, so in the beginning already, the feet are angled. So you think about what we're doing, right? The feet are already angled. So if we're allowing our body to move the way they want, I'm just checking which feet show up. Right? So as we sink, right, two hands, right, as we do the first movement, right, we can't turn left or right, right? We're centered. But then as we shift into the right, we have to allow our body to fold into the right hip and turn. So and it's funny because I see this now in other forms, right? So I'll go to your right side, right? As they're sinking, they really force their body to be straight. And then a lot of people, they step straight up and they force this movement to be straight. So what I'm showing, right, is if they don't turn, they're creating unnecessary stress that may add to knee pain and other pain. But they're overworking that muscle, and if you're muscling it, right, that tends to make you work harder in the upper body. Right? But if they turn, so if they allow that turn, right, you should see the body turning 45. And as you train, you could make it a little bit more subtle, but you would see that, right? And then as you shift to this leg, the body should turn, and it should be out here, and the body here. Okay. So in application of the way the set is done, in the end, we don't want that huge turning, but it is in there. So in the beginning, let your body turn, right? Develop this first. So as you sink, right, let your body turn. Right? You're still focusing straight ahead, right? But let your body turn. Let your body turn. It's natural. Let your body turn. And then when both feet are on the ground, then you can be square from here. But every time you shift to one leg, let the body turn and fold. Your intent is still forward or wherever it is. Every time you shift, let your body turn. As you develop this, right, as you develop how to sink into here, you can turn the upper body a little bit straighter. So it's still turning because you're starting to learn how to sink and fold. So once you learn how to sink and fold into the hip, you can actually turn whichever way you want, right? And people won't see how deeply you're turned into here. And that's a spiral, right? Your hip is turned like this, but your upper body is spiraling out of that turn a little bit. Okay. So Facing the same way. Come. Feet together. Come. Right? From the beginning. Right? So the hands come up. Right? You sink down. And as you sink into the right legs, sink into the right hip, let your body turn to the right. Right? Just fold and sink. And then your left foot is free. So the left foot steps out, heel, and then sink down and through your hips, through your groin, shift into your left. You got to move over. We're going to run into each other. Please. And then sink into the left. So let the body turn to the left. Let the body turn into that joint so the right leg is free. And then a small step with the right. And as you shift back to center, right, you're starting to shift halfway into the right. So your body will turn back to center. And because you only have center, you're facing straight and open and close. Does that make any kind of sense? I only can see Marion. Does that make any kind of sense at all? Yeah. So allow your body to turn. If you don't allow your body to turn, you're fighting your body. You're creating stress that's going to just make it harder, right? So everything I'm studying comes back to Sung, relax. So you got to relax to do this. Right? Comes back to no resistance, right? You cannot fight. If you're fighting, then you're resisting what nature wants to do, what your body wants to do, right? What the Tao wants to do. And that takes away from your movement, takes away from ultimately what you're trying to accomplish. Okay? So I'm going to run through it slowly and just looking at this and allow the body to sink and turn and just take your time, reset if you have to. And we just run through the form listening to this. So I'm going to just start with my back to you in the beginning. Okay, so this is the TCA 1 and 2 or the extended 42, right? The standing. The Tai Chi for Health Institute, extended 42. Okay, so relax the bottom of the feet, relax the hip, try and tuck the tailbone in a little bit, relax, let go of all the stress. Open the throat. Feel the lower belly expanding, contracting, releasing. And begin when you're ready. Right? Just imagine the fingertips and the bottom of the feet being pulled, if you can, that external, or wherever it's comfortable from you. Right? Sink into the right. Let the body turn. Free the left. And extend the left arm first, and then sink and shift. And think about folding into the left hip. Fold into the left hip. Sink into the left hip. Let the body turn. Free the right. And come back to center. Open and close. Single whip. Right? So you have to sink into the left. Right? Your body's going to start turning to the left. And then you have to sink into the left even more so your body can free and turn to the right. Pick up and tap the right toe and step out. And so if we turn coil to the right, we have pressure. You can feel that pressure on your left quad. So you have to sink and turn a little bit to the left to release it. Right? And then turn back and expand and sink into the right. Your body wants to turn to the right and then open. You have to sink into the right to allow that turn to come out. And then sink into the left. Let the body turn naturally into the left. Release as much as you need to. Right foot in, and then once. So shift. Right in the middle, when you're facing square, and then sink into the right. Let the body turn to the right to release the left. And then shift into the left. Let the body turn into the left. Relax the bottom of the feet. And shift into the right and let the body turn into the right hip. And one more time. palms and just feel and what you're doing. Come back to center. The body's square, so you should be facing front. Repeat on the left side. So you have to sink into the right. Let the body fold into the right hip. Let it turn and pull the spine to the left, releasing the left foot. Step out, sink down, and then shift into the left hip. Let the body turn a little to the left, and then sink into the left hip. So let it turn to the right. And sink into the right leg. The body folds, turns left first, and as you pick up, then you can turn the waist right and step. So folding into one side doesn't mean it can only fold in one direction. The more you relax and release into the leg and listen to it, then those folds and bends will naturally come out. Sink into the left. If you look straight ahead, that will aid in slowly correcting your posture when the time is right. Pull the spine back. Brush knee facing left. Right, so shift and sink into the left. That means your body's going to turn left. The right foot's going to turn 45. Then you sit on the right, sink into the right, and release. You can keep on turning, and you can step with the left, and as you shift to the left, just fold into the left hip. Relax into the left foot. Right foot follows. Right foot back. Sink into the right. Let your body turn into the right. Pull pipa. Hold the pipa. Step out heel. Fold it into the right. Left. Okay. Shift into the left, and your body has to twist all the way left. Step up right. Turn. Sink into the left so you can turn to the right. Right foot turns. Step. Okay. As you shift forward, your body's going to turn into the left hip. Your left hand's going to cover. Right foot up. Right hand punches and sink into the left. Your body turns and that pushes the right hand out. Sink into the left. Your body's going to turn more to the left so you can step back. Roll back. Sink into the right. Allow the body to turn to the right. Tap the left foot. Sink into the hips. And just lift the sternum. Let the body turn a little to the left, although the palms are pushing straight. Right foot follow. Right foot back. Oh, I'm sorry. Come out. Right foot up. Turn back to the front. Shift and turn. Open and close. And we're going to brush knee to the right side. So same thing. You have to shift into the right and let your body turn to the right. As you release your left foot and turn, your left foot's going to turn 45. And sit back on the left. As you sink on the left and pick up your right, you can continue to turn. I'm going to brush the right knee, shift forward, sink into the right hip. Your body's going to turn to the right. Left foot follow step. Let the palms turn center. Step back left. Sink into the left. Allow the body to turn to the left. So the right hand comes forward. Hu pipa. Step out right heel and twist into the right. Left hand rising. Step up left. Twist to the left and sink into the right hip as you twist. And then shift and sink into the left hip. Right foot up. Shift into the right. The body turns. The right hand covers. Step up. Grab and punch. Step back. Sink into the left so the body turns to the left. Releasing the right leg and then sink into the left to turn back. Lift the sternum. Sink into the right to free the left foot so it can follow step. And then turn to the front. Open and close. And I'm going to recenter myself from here. Okay. We're going to turn back to the right. knee. So we have to free the left foot again. So sink to the right. As you sink, let that turn, let the body turn. So the left foot turns 45 and then sit on the left. Sink into the left so your body continues to turn to the right. And then step, tap the heart, expand the heart energy, sink into the right so left foot releases. Leisurely tying the coat. Sink into the right, the body's going to turn to the right. You can step back with the left. Sit back and sink into the left. Right? You're going to fold into the left. Right hand comes up. Turn back to the front. Sink. Wipe down and turn. Sink into the left. And let the body turn. Pull the spine to the right. And step up. Sink into the right. Release that energy. Heel down. Step back. Keep the right foot, keep the right heel on the ground and sink into the left. So the body turns, the right hand extends, and then sink into the left and feel the palm being pulled to the right and the spine being pulled and twisted to the right. Double palm. Left foot follows, keep the left heel up and swivel back to the front. Sink into the right, left foot down, sink into the left. The body will turn. Open, close. Brush knee on this side. So shift into the left, let the body turn to the left, let the right foot turn, sink, keep on sinking so the body can continue to turn to the left. Step left, brush the left knee. Sink into the left, right foot free. Heel down. Right foot back. Sink into the right, the body turns to the right. Left hand circles up. Sink into the right, the body turns to the front. Pull the spine to the right. Pull the hands down. Drag the hands up. Pull the spine to the left. Sink into the right, the body turns a little to free the left. Then you can step out. Pull the hands forward. Right foot follow, heel down. Right foot back. Keep the left heel on the ground while you pull the spine back to the right, and then the spine pulls to the left, and something pulls and drags the hand to the front. Sink into the left, so you fold into the left as you double palm, freeing the right, then swivel back to the front. Right foot down, sink into the right, open and close. Okay, fist under elbow. You're going to sink into the right, so you turn to the right, slide the left foot back, and sink into the left. Let your body turn to the left while the right hand drops, right? And then swivel, keep on turning to the left. Sink into the right, turn to the left. Right fist on the left elbow. You're going to step up, so you have to sink into the right, right? The body's going to turn a little bit. Step up left because it's released, and step up, sink into the left, the right hand's going to push out, right foot follows, keep the weight on the left. Okay? You have to sink into the left so the body can turn to the left, the right foot can turn 45, and then sit back on the right and sink into the right, the body keeps on turning. Repulse monkey, and I'm going to turn to your back, returning to the left. Step and brush the left knee. So I'm facing your back. Right foot follows as you sink into the left. Right? Shift into the right. As you sink into the right, the left hand comes up, repulse monkey. As you sink into the right, the body turns to the right. You keep on turning. Left foot turns all the way around. Now you're going to face my back. Keep sinking. Step right. Brush the right knee, sink into the right so the left foot frees. Sit back on the left, sink into the left, the body's going to turn to the left. Right hand up, right foot up, keep on turning. Quarter turn to the left, sink into the right. Right? The body has to turn to the right to release the left, and then shift. Sink into the left, follow step. Heel down. Sink into the left. Here, right foot back. Leisurely tying the coat. Pull the spine to the right. Left hand up. Pull the spine to the left. Pull the spine to the right. Feel the palms being pulled and dragged. Step out. Sink into the left. The body turns. The hands extend. Right foot follows. Right foot back. Sink into the right. Let the body turn a little to the right. And then pull the spine left. And pull the fingertips left. Spiral. Double palm. Sink into the left to release the right. Right foot up. Swivel back to the front. Sink into the right. Everything turn. Adjust the left foot. Open and close. Right foot's going to come back, so we're going to sink into the left. Body's turned left. Till the right foot is free and it can just slide back. Palms press and then sink into the right. Fold into the right hip, so you open and start turning right. The left hand is dropping. Fold and turn all the way. And then sink into the left and let the body turn. Left fist on the right elbow. Step up. Let the left fist push out. Sink into the right. So left fist will push forward. Left foot up. Keep your weight on the right. You want to turn around, so I'm going to face your back again. So you have to keep on turning into the right. So you turn to the right. Left foot turns. Then you can shift your weight to the left and turn. Sink into the hip. Brush the right knee. I'm facing your back. Right. Left foot follows. Sink back on the left. Pull the spine left. Right toe up. Right hand up. Pull the spine and sink into the left. So you turn. Now you're going to face my back. Right. Free the left and sink into the right and keep on turning. Brush the sink into the left, follow step. Sink into the right hip, the body turns to the right, left hand up. Left foot turns. Sit back left, let the body turn into the left and step. And shift into the right and let the body turn. Lift the sternum, left foot follow step. Step back, sink into the left, body turns to the left. Free the right foot, right hand up. Leisurely tying the coat. Pull the spine to the right, so back in the center. Sink into the left. Pull the spine to the left. Drag the hands up. Pull the spine to the right and step up. Left foot follow step. Left foot back. Sink into the left so the body turns a little to the left. Right toe picks up. Pull the spine to the right. Pull the hands to the right. So you spiral, double palm. Sink into the right. Left foot free. Steps up. Swivel back to the front. Sink into the right hip. And then shift into the left. Sink into the left hip. Adjust the right. Open and close. Pressing forward a little bit. Just lift the sternum. Feel the whole body connect. And then slowly let the hands be pulled into the earth. At the top of the head, pull the body up while the bottom of the feet are being pulled into the earth. Slowly release everything. Breathe in and out. And breathe in and out. Loosen everything up. Okay, how does that feel? Was that intense? So, I'll tell you, if you were going and you were doing all of that, you're really working out inside this muscle. It doesn't feel like you're working it out, like lifting weights, that kind of resistance, right? Because we're avoiding resistance. But I guarantee you, if you were folding more and letting your body fold and just anchoring yourself on that leg, even if it felt relaxed, inside here, right inside here, you're working those muscles. So make sure you take, if you got apple cider vinegar, right, take a little apple cider vinegar. I like to just take a little bit with a little bit of juice or water, and then flush down a clean glass of juice or water, and then loosen it up. Right, make sure you constant movement. That'll help to massage and work that out. Otherwise, tomorrow, and what might happen is tomorrow you might either be really stiff or you might not feel it until you do this and go, oh, and like, why is it so tight deep inside the muscle? Right? Because it's isolated. So the muscle is still developing. You can still enhance with resistant exercises. Right? It's not saying no resistant exercises, but that balance of all types. Oh, I'm hot, I'm sweating, oh, perspiring. Okay, any questions? Marion, you have any questions? Sylvia? Yeah. And check your knees. If your knees are hurting, it's to train hard. Like I go solo, I have to be really careful. I know I'm still putting some stress on my knees just because of the age and condition of my knees. No matter how good I make them, it's not like 40 years ago good. And already my knees, I realized, were probably experiencing some stress from other things that happened when I was younger. Okay, so try and think about that, right? When you fold, let your body turn, right? And the body can turn both ways, right? So, but you have to relax, just let it go, and then just notice how everything is much more relaxed, much more anchored, much more stable. And let your body turn. And then once you develop that, then you can refine your movement so it won't look so big, 45, right? Or basically a 90-degree angle, you're turning, right? It'll start to look more and more subtle, but you're really folding and sinking, and your body will start to round and relax, yeah? And you can let go from there. And then practice the sensation of being pulled and suspended, being pulled into the earth. Think about those 3 stages, right? Set your frame, physical, then internal expanding and surging outwards, and then being pulled outwards, and everything has to let go and relax, right? So, Sung, number 1, heart number 1. Oh, and then I talked about developing that feeling of your spine being pulled and twisted, right? And then the body responds. So don't just turn, but at the same time, pull your spine. Right? So then that will cause that acceleration into the turn. You just don't sink and turn, but you pull from there. Okay? So it's a lot. You just have to try one thing and then the other thing, and eventually everything comes together if you stick with it. Okay, come up over here. We're finished with the meditation. I have to change the music that I'm referencing on my YouTubes because I'm switching to this traditional, it's like traditional Chinese music or something, and it just kind of plays for like 11, 12 hours, these feeds, and they change sometimes. I'm starting to like these. Bring the hands up, right? Let the legs go, let them fall. Yes, relax, open up all the joints and relax, smile, and breathe 3 times. And relax all the facial muscles, so don't need to physically smile or frown, no physical facial expression, just that feeling of smiling inside. And then just rest the hands, the palms on the legs. Can be palms up or can be palms down. It's a little different feeling. You can decide which one you want. Relax the throat, open the throat. Just calmly breathe. Any distractions, acknowledge them, and then bring yourself back to the meditation. slowly open your eyes, rub your hands together, loosen your legs. Okay. And there was other imagery I talked about, especially in the first part. But, so remember, sung is number one, right? Relax, and heart is number one, expansion of that heart energy, and that imagery of the sun feeding your body, connecting to your heart, your sun, and you can take that, right, that golden glow, and warm up your whole body, and then as you're meditating, you can just smile and imagine from your heart energy going to whoever you need to share that with, and that you transmitting, you sending that heart energy out to the people. So it could be your family, kids, whoever, people you work with, right? And if it's that heart energy, it'll reach everybody. Doesn't matter who they are. Doesn't matter if they're, how you interact with them. You just let that heart energy just go to everybody, and you don't pull it back. You say, not that person. you just pull it back. If they're in that family system, that group, you just let it go, and you don't think about like, not them. Just let it go. Yeah, from there. But you can add that imagery, that healing imagery to everybody else. Yeah, from there. Okay, so remember, shake these muscles out, right? Keep them flexed. Drink the apple cider vinegar just a little bit. Yeah, don't drink. Some people drink too much. They're not used to it. They get upset stomach. Just a little. Pickled mango. Some people like to drink the pickled mango juice. Yeah, that has a lot of that vinegar inside from there. Or eat pickled foods. Or I know. Marukai before, a couple of times she bought those apple cider vinegar drinks, right? They're flavored drinks, and they have just a little bit of vinegar inside. But you can do the same thing. Just put a little bit of vinegar in juice or apple juice, whatever you like. Yeah. I know I'm not doing all the normal warm down, but you know what to do. Right? If you need to stretch and pull away from the neck and the spine, right? You can do all of this stuff. Yeah, for those of you who know, you just do all the same things. And you can do it after we're done, and you can finish up. If you need more of the warm up, you just finish up that warm up. Okay, hands up. Inner smile. Right? That nice warm glow, that nice golden time, that golden sunset glow, and that feeling of smiling, just bathing yourself in that glow. Breathing in and flushing your whole body, letting everything go. Okay, right hand, left hand. Hey, thank you everybody. Have a nice Memorial Day. Have a good week.